It was supposed to be just another day scrolling through social media. But for Angela Simmons, what she saw left her visibly shaken, her emotions raw and on full display. Paparazzi lenses captured her walking out of a Los Angeles restaurant late at night, wiping away tears with a tissue clutched tightly in her hand. Why? Because moments earlier, steamy photos of Gotti and rising rap star Glorilla surfaced on Instagram, setting the internet ablaze and igniting a whirlwind of speculation, betrayal, and heartbreak. Angela and Gotti's story has long felt like a fairy tale wrapped in hip-hop glitter, a public crush turned into a relationship that inspired hashtags and warmed hearts. Gotti had long expressed his feelings for Angela in his music, and over time, those lyrics manifested into reality. The two shared romantic vacations, red carpet appearances, and what seemed to be an unshakable bond. But in a matter of hours, everything seemed to unravel. For Angela, it wasn't just a relationship ending. It felt like a public humiliation. This wasn't a tabloid rumor. This was a visible reminder that even the strongest women can be blindsided by the people they trust. The photos were anything but subtle. One showed Gotti and Glorilla laughing with a comfort that only deep familiarity can bring at what looked like a private afterparty. Another more intimate shot captured them on a private yacht, Glorilla in a bold two-piece, leaning into Gotti as he whispered something in her ear. The body language told a story all its own. They weren't just working colleagues sharing a laugh. These were moments charged with intimacy. Angela, sources say, saw the photos moments before her outing. She had been dining quietly in Beverly Hills when her phone buzzed with notifications, texts from friends, messages from stylists, even comments from fans tagging her in the viral pictures. Trying to remain poised, she reportedly excused herself, but just steps outside the restaurant, her mask of composure broke. Onlookers described her as visibly distressed, speaking on the phone in hushed tones, pacing, and fighting back tears. To see someone as composed as Angela unravel in public painted a powerful picture of real emotional pain. For most people, relationship disappointments happen behind closed doors, but Angela's life has never afforded her that privacy. And when the man you've been reconnecting with publicly appears smitten with another one, especially one from your extended circle, the betrayal hits different. Angela and Gotti were not officially back together, but according to close friends, they had been working things out quietly. Recent flirty exchanges on social media and cryptic quotes about forgiveness only fuel that belief. Angela has long been careful about what she shares publicly. She's known for valuing privacy, especially after experiencing previous heartbreaks and the tragic loss of her former fiancé, Sutton Tennyson. So, for her to even begin mending things with Gotti and then be hit with this public image of him with Glorilla wasn't just painful. It felt like history repeating itself in the cruelest way. The appearance of Glorilla, someone signed to Gotti's CMG label, added a new layer of sting. Angela had been cordial with Glorilla at past events. They weren't best friends, but there had been mutual respect. Now that line appeared to have been crossed, and not just by Gotti, but by someone she once viewed as a rising sister in the industry. The optics, devastating. The timing, questionable. The fallout, inevitable. Glorilla is no stranger to headlines. The Memphis rapper has been riding high with a string of hit singles, viral moments, and unapologetic confidence. She is young, fearless, and hungry, a perfect combination for the spotlight. But now, she's being cast as the other woman in a story already saturated with emotion. The question many fans are asking, did Glorilla know the depth of Angela and Gotti's relationship? Was she aware that Angela was still emotionally involved? Or was this simply a matter of two single adults connecting with no malice intended? Neither party has offered official comments, but sources close to Glorilla say she's unbothered by the drama. Some believe this controversy could ironically elevate her public profile even further. In hip-hop, controversy often equals currency. Yet others believe Glo is walking a tightrope. If she is perceived as someone who undermined another woman, especially a respected figure like Angela, the backlash could linger longer than the headlines. This relationship didn't blossom in secret. Gotti famously rapped about his crush on Angela Simmons back in 2015 with the lyrics, "And I just followed Angela Simmons. Boy, I got a crush on Angela Simmons." Fans watched in real time as the admiration grew into something real. When they finally became a couple years later, it felt like a cultural victory, like the boy from the block had won over the princess of hip-hop royalty. Angela, daughter of Rev Run of Run DMC, represents legacy. She's navigated fame with poise, built brands, raised a child, and carried herself with dignity. Gotti, the self-made mogul from Memphis, brought edge and ambition. Together, they were unexpected but magnetic, which is why this apparent betrayal feels like a punch to the gut, not just for Angela, but for their supporters who genuinely wanted to see them win. They've broken up before, yes, but the undertone was always that of unfinished business, that quiet hope of reconciliation. Angela had even shared posts in the past reflecting on forgiveness and growth, which fans speculated were about Gotti. Their public appearances were spaced but telling, which is why these images with Glorilla don't just suggest a new romance. They feel like a final blow to something the public was rooting for. The photos set the internet on fire. Within hours, hashtag Angela Simmons, hashtag Yo Gotti, and hashtag Glorilla were all trending on Twitter. Fans picked sides, memes poured in. Some mocked the situation, others empathized with Angela's heartbreak. Angela Deserves Better became a rallying cry across TikTok. Influencers and bloggers began dissecting body language from the photos, analyzing past interviews, and crafting narratives around what might have gone wrong. Interestingly, Angela remained silent online. No Instagram stories, no tweets, no cryptic captions, just silence, and sometimes silence says the most. Her fans flooded her past posts with messages of support, while others called on Gotti to do better. Even celebrities began weighing in, subtle likes, vague tweets, and heart emojis that all pointed toward solidarity with Angela. Angela's team has kept a tight lid on the situation, but some sources close to her revealed that she was blindsided. She wasn't expecting this. They were talking, reconnecting, figuring things out, one friend shared. It's not just about romance, it's about respect, and this felt disrespectful. Others say Angela may take a social media hiatus and shift her focus to her businesses and her son. Sutton Jr., Angela is resilient, said another insider. She's hurt, but she's been here before. She always rises. From Gotti's camp, there's been minimal chatter. One anonymous source defended him, claiming they weren't exclusive. He's allowed to live. But to the court of public opinion, the timing and closeness of the Glorilla photos tell a different story. Angela Simmons is more than just a public figure. She's a brand, a mother, and a representative of Black women in entrepreneurship. Her relationships aren't just personal, they're public fodder, and they affect her image. Meanwhile, Gotti, as a powerful male figure in hip-hop, enjoys a different kind of latitude. He can be seen with multiple women and still be labeled a boss, while Angela is left to pick up the emotional pieces in public. It's a dynamic we see too often, where women are expected to suffer silently while men skate through the mess they help create. It's not just about heartbreak. It's about image, legacy, and control over one's narrative. Behind the scenes, the whispers have started. Rumors of Gotti and Glorilla being closer than friends had circulated for weeks, but few took them seriously. Now, insiders are claiming this mentorship might have crossed lines, blurring the professional with the personal. Some label executives are reportedly concerned. It's messy, one industry vet shared. It puts Glo in a tough spot. If this becomes her narrative, it could overshadow her music. Others argue that Glorilla's fanbase is built on rebellion and authenticity, meaning a scandal might actually make her more relatable. The biggest question on everyone's mind: what happens next? Will Gotti address the situation? Will Angela eventually break her silence? And will Glorilla double down or distance herself? For now, speculation reigns. Some fans believe this could push Angela to a new chapter, perhaps even a book or docuseries about healing, motherhood, and navigating love in the public eye. Others think she might get back with Gotti eventually, citing their undeniable chemistry. But one thing is certain, Angela has been hurt. And from the looks of it, this time might be different. In the world of fame, image, and Instagram, nothing stays hidden for long. What began as a few steamy photos has evolved into a cultural moment, one that touches on themes of loyalty, betrayal, womanhood, and resilience. Angela Simmons may have been blindsided, but if history tells us anything, she will bounce back with grace and strength. As for Gotti and Glorilla, time will tell. Whether this was a fleeting spark or the beginning of something real, they've both entered the court of public opinion, and the jury is still out. What do you think about the drama? Is Angela right to feel betrayed? Should Gotti and Glorilla have handled things differently? Drop your thoughts in the comments And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the next big update. Because trust, this story is far from over.